Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Granville, Ohio. We're on the beautiful campus of Denison University tonight at Deeds Field Piper Stadium to take in this NCAC conference matchup. This is the 83rd meeting between Denison and Wooster in a series that began all the way back in 1889. Wooster holds a 40-35-7 advantage all time. Today's game marks the 20th Battle of the Old Lantern. Since 1989, Denison and Wooster have played for a trained lantern, which represents the mode of transportation taken by the two teams to play one another in the early 1900s. Wooster regained possession of the lantern after last year's 43-21 win over the Big Red in Wooster, Ohio. Denison tonight is up to snap a two-game losing streak and reclaim the Old Red Lantern in 4 previous matchups against Wooster. Fifth-year head coach Jack Hayden is 2-2. Denison was idle last week. Its most recent game was a 7-point loss to then 14th-ranked Wittenberg. Now for the visiting Fighting Scots. Like the Big Red, Wooster's most recent contest was a 41-7 home loss to the 15th-ranked Wittenberg last Saturday. Wooster is 3-3 in the year and 3-2 in NCAC play. The remaining schedule features home games with DePaul and Kenyon before ending the season on the road at the Battling Bishops of Ohio Wesleyan. We'll be back in just a minute to bring you our pregame thoughts and get things kicked off here in Granville, Ohio. Stick and stay here on the Denison Sports Network. Welcome back to Under the Lights here in Granville, Ohio Stadium. We have an NCAC football matchup tonight between the 2-4 Denison Big Red and the 3-3 Wooster Fighting Scots. Both teams are led tonight by star quarterbacks. For the Fighting Scots, senior quarterback Richard Barnes has been the key cog in their offense. He's passed for over 1,000 yards and 13 touchdowns, while also a threat on the ground for 357 yards and 3 scores. Last year against the Big Red, he threw for over 250 yards and 3 TDs with just 8 completions. And wide receiver Darian Owens was his favorite target, as he set his Wooster's single game receiving yards record, and the key for them retaking the Old Red Lantern. Denison, not too shabby, though, for themselves at quarterback. It's senior Brandon Sklenar. Sklenar is 3rd in the conference in passing yards with 1,500 and leads the conference in total offense per game with over 310 yards. Well, the lights are on and the teams are out. Denison comes out in their red helmets, red tops, and white pants. Wooster is wearing their black helmets, white tops, and white pants. And up to kick here in the opening kickoff for Wooster will be Trevor Bowden. Back to return for the Big Red is Andrew Baird and freshman Chandler Bridges. So both teams enter this game looking for a win. The Big Red, their second consecutive night game. 2 weeks ago, they fell to Wittenberg. Now they're coming off a bye week to rest up and hopefully take it to the Scots on their part tonight. And we're off here. The return deep in the end zone by Baird. He's up through the middle. Fights his way to the 26-yard line before he's dragged down by the white shirts of the Scots. And the Denison offense will take the field, led by their senior captain, Brandon Sklenar. Joining Sklenar, number 6 receiver DuShawn Brown, tight end Cam Lair, left tackle Kyle Rose, left guard Tom Demers, center Nathan Bartell, right guard Zach Troy, right tackle Drew Gray, another receiver Hunter Winans, Richie Weeman, and in the backfield Everett McGregor replacing the injured Colin Morris. Denison's lack of running back depth could be an issue tonight. We'll get into that more as the game moves along. Now Sklenar in the shotgun. Motions Weeman. Takes the snap. Up the middle, hands it. Short gain of about 4 yards that time for Everett McGregor, the freshman. Up the gut. Nice start for the Big Red. For the Fighting Scots on defense, at defensive ends are Ian Crawford and Stephen McKinney. Defensive tackles, 2 freshmen, Ben Kumpf and Aaron Robertson. Linebacker, Mitchell Zerniak, Matt Osolinksi. Strong safety, Tyson Vogel. Cornerback, LeBaron Sylvester. Free safety, Patrick Johnson. Strong safety, Brandon James. And at quarterback, senior, number 9, Sean Bowman, imposing 6'3", 195 pounds. Now Sklenar in the shotgun. Motions Cam Lair over from the right side to the left side. They're in a 3-receiver set. DuShawn Brown alone at the bottom of your screen. The read option, hands to McGregor. McGregor bottled up that time, not able to get much push was the offensive line, and swallowed. Wittenberg in a nickel set, 2 linebackers, 2 safeties high. Denison with a nice matchup on the inside slots. Both those guys just about 5-7 yards off of Sklenar. 2 receivers will be matched up against linebackers on this play. We'll see if he'll attack them. Sklenar up the middle, runs. Oh, he might just have enough. Sklenar diving ahead, and there's a penalty flag down, it looks like. Welcome back to Granville, Ohio. Deeds Field, Piper Stadium. News on the injury. It was senior linebacker Mitchell Zerniak who's limped off the field. He looks to be walking off the field in his own power, so return could be possible today. Now, at the end of that play, on Sklenar's run, there was a 15-yard personal foul assessed to the Fighting Scots, making sure Denison did that first down as they move to the field now. So DuShawn Brown takes the jet sweep. He fights upfield all the way to the Wooster 40-yard line as Denison is driving. Pushing upfield, Denison's defense really led the charge in their last home game against a very strong Wittenberg Tigers side. The offense unable to punch it in the end zone or do much of anything. Tonight, though, the offense off to a hot start. Sklenar reading his keys very well in the running game, getting some things going. They found a hole with that Wooster defense. So Sklenar now 2nd down and 1 at the 40-yard line. He'll play action. Throws it. DuShawn Brown makes a great catch right along that left sideline, turns upfield, gets the first down by a comfy 10-yard margin. Beautiful throw and catch that time by DuShawn Brown. Sklenar with the play action, roll out to the right side. Then DuShawn Brown with the drag route across the formation, came across. As Sklenar threw that pass to DuShawn a little bit behind, but DuShawn turned all the way around, swiveled his hips, made the catch, worked his way upfield for a few more yards. Excellent 2nd down execution by Sklenar and Brown, giving Denison a 1st down. Now with 12-20. Again, Denison, 1st down in Wooster territory. Sklenar play action, rolls out to the right again. He'll keep it this time, though. Takes a hit, works his way down for a nice gain of about 6 yards. But we do have a penalty flag on the play, a penalty flag on the play. Hold everything, and it's a holding on the Denison offense. So that'll push things back 10 yards to the 32-yard line. Again, we want to remind everyone that we are having a low bandwidth broadcast tonight due to some network wireless internet problems that have been going on all across Denison's campus today. So the low bandwidth broadcast revenue will bring you a more consistent stream. And we apologize for the unusual lack of good picture quality, but this game is still being recorded in high definition, and either later tonight or this morning, Denison Sports Network will have that uploaded for you. Now Sklenar steps into the pass, finds a man in the middle, but well defended. Great play that time by Patrick Johnson. Got in and broke up that pass. DuShawn Brown was targeting Dom Vamosi. Dom Vamosi made a nice post in the middle of the field, and Sklenar's pass, though, batted down by Johnson. Makes his first play of the game, the freshman, 5'8", 180 pounds. So now Denison will line up again on a 1st and 20. Sklenar, 2 receivers high, 1 low, 2 backs. McGregor behind him, Kaminsky to the left. There'll be a draw. McGregor swallowed up in the backfield. What a play that time by Ben Kumpf, the freshman from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, making his presence felt in the Denison backfield. Denison needs to get that line cleaned up. The running game has not been able to find much room. That draw call, did not work, so Denison faces a very difficult 3rd down and 25 now from their own 37. That holding penalty really setting this drive back. So Sklenar will take it now with 3 receivers high. McGregor in the backfield in the classic pistol formation. McGregor about 2 yards behind Sklenar. Sklenar drops. Blitz from the corner. Sklenar up the field. Evades 1 tackler. Chip down finally. Good tackle in the middle. That time by Troy Brown. Troy Brown with the tackle on Sklar, trips him up to bring up a 4th and about 15 yards. So Denison will send out the punt team. See who will take the punt. Looks like Matt Paracchio will be the punter. Alex Bookout, the long snapper, number 50. Accurate snapper this year for the Big Red. So Paracchio set for this short-range punt. He'll let the ball go to about the 45. It's up towards the corner. Good height on it. We'll see if Denison can get under it. Spins, hits inside the end zone. That'll be a touchback. So Denison only able to exchange about 15 yards of field position. Unfortunately, on that punt, did not work out very well. So Paracchio's punt sails into the end zone. And the Denison defense will now take the field. Denison defense comes out, defensive end, number 99, Lars Soderberg, the big man from Colorado, has been an absolute stud so far this year. Nose tackle, Cameron Call. Defensive tackle, Pat Cullen Foley. Defensive end, Zach Baker. The Mike linebacker, senior Pat Carney Foley. Will linebacker has been a freshman, Percy Roberts. Cornerback, Joel Lahua. Another cornerback, Chandler Bridges. Free safety, Andrew Baird. Strong safety, Zach Pewitt, Emerson Thacker. Another strong safety, Joe Weinbach. Lucas Romick will all see time. Wooster's first pass is screen to the middle of the field. And that'll go for 10 yards. Could be a first down. Great throw that time by Richard Barnes. Able to find his tailback, Sean Hackle. Hackle, a little slip screen right that time. As Barnes dropped back, looked like he was going to let go a long pass. Hackle just sort of snuck right there in the space that the defensive lineman for Denison had lost. They moved upfield, and they were able to give it 10 yards. First down for the Fighting Scots. And there's a second straight completion for Richard Barnes as Wooster moving very quickly. I'll try to get you their starting lineup when I get a few seconds to assess it. So again, we'll be in a shotgun. Richard Barnes. It's his second and third, 36-yard line. Barnes takes the snap. It's a keep. He'll hand off. Oh, great hit that time. It's Romick. Lucas Romick absolutely leveling Tyler Smith on the outside. So Barnes unable to get that third straight completion. So for the Wooster offense, number 1 receiver Justin Rice at tight end will be David Wilshire, left tackle Flannery, guard Kelbley, center Todd Ulmer, right guard Michael McCants, right tackle Drake Schwenke, receiver Kira Pace. Again, the quarterback Richard Barnes, receiver Darian Owens, who had a stellar night last year, and tight end Sean Hackle. Now the handoff up the middle. Nothing doing that time for the Scots. Great push for the Big Red by Cameron Call. So Sean Hackle, the ball carrier, and that third down. Great stop for the Big Reds, going to force a punt. As Tyler Gerwig will come out onto the field, led by long snapper Mitchell Zerniak. We'll see if he's in the game. I'm not able to tell his number from our vantage point. Back for the Big Red is Andrew Baird to receive. Nice high punt. Baird will call for a fair catch, take it down at the 15-yard line. So Denison will get the ball to the 15-yard line, and Brand Sklenar will try to lead the troops out again. A nice first drive for the Big Red there to establish themselves a little bit through the air and through the ground. Sklenar always a threat with his feet, but tip your caps to the Big Red defense. It looked like Wooster was off and running. That first play they ran, nice slip screen, 10 yards. Second play, another easy pass for 7 yards, but one incompletion, and then a great stuff by the interior defensive line. Denison forces the punt by Wooster, well executed on their part. So Sklenar will take the ball. 2 receivers low, 2 high. McGregor behind him. Sklenar, jet sweep motion, doesn't hand off. We'll give to McGregor. McGregor to the outside, breaks a tackle. Oh, the freshman fighting hard. Nice gain that time for the Big Red, up 8 yards. Denison, a lot of motion in the backfield that time. There's a jet sweep fake, I believe, by DuShawn Brown. Sklenar looked like he was going to hand to Brown, pulled it back. Then Sklenar looked like had a read option with McGregor, handoff to McGregor. So many things going on in the backfield. Have to give the linebackers some hesitation. And that play worked out very well as the Denison offensive linemen were able to get up in the linebackers, push him back, get a nice 8-yard gain. Now Sklenar, Kaminsky to his left, McGregor behind him. 2 receivers high, 1 low. Deep to DuShawn Brown. DuShawn Brown, by the quarterback, takes it in. He's going to go all the way. DuShawn Brown with a 70-yard reception. DuShawn Brown, Sklenar on the play-action fake, dropped back, had one man in his mind, a primary read, looked off the safety, and then found Brown, who busted the top off the coverage. Brown made a great in-air adjustment. He is a stellar receiver, and when he caught the ball, there was no catching him. He has got speed to burn. And that makes it 6-0 Denison on top of Wooster early as Paracchio takes the field for the extra point. Sklenar, perfect pass right in stride for DuShawn Brown, who makes the in-air adjustment for the catch. The extra point up and good, and Denison strikes first on a 70-yard pass from Brandon Sklenar to DuShawn Brown here at Dees Field Piper Stadium on the Denison Sports Network. And we're back. I'm Nick Caravana bringing you tonight's action on the Denison Sports Network. Denison up early on the Fighting Scots after that long touchdown completion from Brandon Sklenar to DuShawn Brown. DuShawn Brown running a nice skinny post up the hash, able to blow the top off the coverage. Well, once he got his hands on the ball, there was no catching him. DuShawn Brown, maybe the fastest man on Denison's campus, took that one to the house. So it's 7-0. Matt Paracchio to kick. He's up, puts it towards the right wing. Fielded by Keith Lemke. Lemke tackled. Excuse me, not Lemke, it's Chase Ullman who fields that ball as Denison did not want to kick that one deep, kicked it to the up man. Gets to the 33-yard line where the Fighting Scots will take over. Looks like there's some dirty laundry on the field, though. We'll wait for the call here in the booth. I believe it's a penalty on the Big Red. The officials look to be consulting with the Wooster coaches. Offsides on the kicking team, so it'll just be a 5-yard penalty now after the kick to push the ball from the 32-yard line up to the 37. Now Denison's defense got off the field and 5 plays, the last drive. No. Denison groaning for a false start. The officials don't call anything. And that pass from Barnes out to Tyler Smith. 5-yard gain. Nice quick pass that time from Barnes. Doesn't look to be hanging like he'll be hanging the ball very long today with quick, efficient passes. Barnes in the all white of Wooster with their black helmets. He's got white sleeves on his arms as well. As he'll keep up the middle, finding some space, breaks a tackle up the left side, and he'll cruise out of bounds. That'll move the chains for the Scots to the Denison 46-yard lines. Barnes showing some quick feet on that run. The senior from Harvey High School takes the snap. Hands off to the Jets. Sweep man up the field all the way up for a 14-yard gain. Tyler Smith, the man in motion, who took the handoff from Barnes, found plenty of space on that Denison defense. That quick motion, able to work his way upfield, a 15-yard gain. Now Wooster causing some problems at the Denison 31-yard line. Barnes takes the snap, rolls out to the left. Has receiver deep, changes fields. He's coming back. We'll use those legs one more time. Ducks down. Finally corralled by Denison defensive back Anthony Cernas. That'll be another first down for the Scots. Oh, Barnes has been a terror this drive with his feet. Now a bit of a breath for the Big Red lineman. Has Barnes, takes the snap. He's in the shotgun. It'll be a quick pass over to the right. Upfield. Fighting off one tackler up to the 10. If it looks like another first down, they'll move the chains once again.
Gets down to the 11-yard line. First down, Wooster.
I think that was Darian Owens on the reception. So it'll be a first down and 10 at the 11-yard line. Barnes drops back, hands off up the middle. Space finding all the way up to the 2-yard line before he's dragged down was Hackle. Hackle brought down by Rayner as Denison is on the back foot here. It'll be a second down for Wooster on the Denison 3-yard line. To get to the 1-yard line to get a first down. So Barnes in the shotgun takes the snap, rolls to the left. He'll cut upfield. Oh, an upended. Great play by the Denison cornerback to bring down Barnes. Cameron Call will be credited with the tackle. Now a big third down. So Wooster driving down the field, NASCAR-like speed, already on the Denison 4-yard line. It'll be third down and 3 to go. Barnes in the shotgun, hands off to Hackle. Hackle up the gut. No, Barnes keeps it himself and gets swung around in the backfield, not able to get any yards. So it'll be a fourth down. Wooster at their Denison 3-yard line. They'll have 2 yards to go to get it. An interesting call now for Coach Frank Colaprete in his second year at the helm for the Fighting Scots. And Wooster, see if they take a timeout. There's 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Not on the shot clock, on the play clock, excuse me. As they'll change their personnel. Now Denison gearing up for a big fourth down stop. And Barnes is in the shotgun. Fourth down. Up the gut is Hackle. Drives up the gut and touchdown. Great job by that offensive line for Wooster. And Wooster, blow for blow, drives the field. Big fourth down run up the gut. Making this a 7-6 ball game with 4:24 here at Deeds Field, Piper Stadium on the campus of beautiful Denison University. So Hackle busts his way into the end zone for a 3-yard run. Now the extra point up. And good. Trevor Bowden knocks it through the uprights. And we are all square here now, 7-7, 4:24 left to go in the first half. Again, I'm Nick Caravana, bringing you tonight's broadcast solo as my usual partner, Nate Kuntz, has come down ill. Tonight's broadcast is in a lower bandwidth. For those of you who tune in regularly may have noticed, we've had some network connectivity problems on Denison's campus today. So the low bandwidth has been used to make sure we try to bring you a more consistent, clear stream. If it's not up to standard, please just take us in as an audio broadcast. The high-definition game film will be loaded, though, to the Denison Sports Network tonight or tomorrow morning for you diehard fans who want to watch the game. Some more picture quality. Now Denison, deep to return, is Baird and Bridges. The kick to Baird. Baird will take it up the right side. He's got some space, runs over one. Finally brought down. About the 24-yard line. So Baird lowering the shoulder well on that, delivering a good hit. Nice kick that time by the freshman kicker, Trevor Bowden. So Denison, so Brandon Sklarna will lead his troops out to the 24-yard line. Today was also senior day for the men's soccer team, who played 12th ranked Wabash College. And Denison, who was unranked entering the game, led by their captain, Evan Porter, with 3 goals, defeated the 12th-ranked Wabash Little Giants 4-0 in a huge upset on their home field today. A beautiful day to take in the game. So congratulations to the Denison Big Red men's soccer team getting that big win at home. To Mark Waterman and Evan Porter, 2 star seniors, both played tremendous games today. Now Sklenar, 2nd down and 10. He'll fire up the middle. DuShawn Brown again on that skinny post. A little bit tighter that time, though. Not going so deep. But Sklenar finds him for a gain of 18 yards, and that'll move the chains. Sklenar locking on his favorite target, Brown, here early. And Brown, certainly one of the top 2 or 3 receivers in the conference and making a case to be an All-American this year. He has been Denison's most outstanding player on offense. It's a home run threat every time he touches the ball. Great hands. Makes every catch, it seems like. Very strong player for Coach Hayden's squad. So it'll be a 1st down from the Denison 37-yard line. Handoff. Sklenar keeps. McGregor taking down the back. Sklenar's got space. He's up the left side to the 30, to the 20, to the 10. A touchdown, Brandon Sklenar. So another explosive play from that Big Red offense. Sklenar on the read option. A beautiful read on his part. Read the defensive end and kept it. And Sklenar hasn't run the ball a ton this year, but he is also one of the fastest people on this Denison team. And when he got outside to that 30-yard line, he put it into 6th gear and blew away the secondary of Wooster. Denison 13, Wooster 7. Paracchio to take the extra point at that Sklenar. 63-yard run. Brandon Sklenar showing off his wheels. Coming off a bye week, Denison's offense looks great. Some of those problems we talked about earlier have been solved. It's 14-7 after Paracchio and knocks that extra point through. So credit has to be given to Brandon Sklenar on that last drive. He has lots of speed, the senior from Michigan, a senior captain who really burst onto the conference scene last year in his first year as a starter. He's a true dual threat quarterback and shown as his stat line so far tonight. He has 1 touchdown pass of 70 yards and a touchdown run of a little more than 60. Denison putting on 14 points quick on the Scots just here in the first quarter. 2:53 left. Brandon Sklenar, the huge touchdown run. The Denison sideline erupts. The fans here erupt. And we have a beautiful crowd going out tonight. Could not ask for a more perfect evening. About 70 degrees, a little bit of humidity in the air. Beautiful night for the end of October. Just really fantastic weather. Now a little bit of trickery from the Fighting Scots. So they do reverse on that kick return, but Denison not fooled. The academics of Denison, known in the conference for their outstanding mix of scholarship and athletics. Can't get that one by the Big Red. Taken down at the 28-yard line was the Wooster return man. So Denison defense will take the field, led by defensive ends Lars Soderberg and Zach Baker, and Mike linebacker captain Pat Carney-Foley. Been a real 4-year contributor to this Denison Big Red squad. The man from the North Shore. Now Barnes, hands off. No, he'll keep it, and driven back after just a gain of 1 yard. So Richard Barnes, a 6', 200-pound quarterback. He's looked very good on the ground too today. Showed some quick feet running on that last scoring drive for Wooster. It'll be 2nd down and 9 on the 29-yard line. Denison, no safeties high, daring the Fighting Scots to throw it deep. They do this time. Barnes fires up top, but incomplete pass. Really, in the end, falls way away from the receiver, Joe Weidenbach, on the coverage. The crowd is buzzing tonight, as you can hear the chatter, the cheers from the Big Red. Denison coaching staff, athletic department auctioning off a brand new HD television tonight. The fans here at the game, so it's already a beautiful night for football. I don't think that's helping a little bit, though. A few more kids out tonight loving to get the TV. Now that pass by Barnes falls through the hands of his receiver. Sean Hackle tried to run a wheel route outside the backfield, and Barnes' pass right from the Denison bench through the hands of Hackle, and they will be forced to punt. The Denison defense doing their job. Good work from the Red Helmets. Forced the Scots into a punt as Tyler Gerwig, the senior, steps back. Poor snap, but he gets it off. Gerwig, nice punt, really lays into it. Now returned deep by Willingham. Willingham up the right side, finds some space. Fights inside. Ball could be out. Willingham on the ground. Oh, there's a fumble. It's a fumble. Willingham on the ground. Both teams fighting for it. A scrum in front of the Denison bench. Oh, Willingham, some loose ball carrying, but Denison able to pick it up. Oh, a break for the Big Red that time, as Alex Willingham worked his way up the field. Looked like he had planted his right foot to change direction here on the sideline. Looked like he went behind the back with his ball transfer. Pretty slick move. I've seen Reggie Bush do that, but not Alex Willingham before. Ended up, though, he got tackled from behind, so the ball popped out as the ball was being transferred. But Denison, with the grit on the ground to get that ball, they'll reward the ball, and there is some laundry late on the field as there's some extracurricular activity on the pile. The Zebras sorting it out right now. We'll have our call after the play. It's unsportsmanlike conduct on number 4, Alex Willingham. Maybe didn't like what was going on with that pile. It'll be a 15-yard penalty, but I believe, fortunate for the Big Red, it'll just move the ball back 15 yards. It won't be a first down and 25. So I believe that's to be the case. Denison will now take the ball at their own 22-yard line as opposed to their 37, where Willingham worked his way up. Coach Hayden in a animated discussion with the official. Not sure they see eye to eye on that call. But either way, Denison will have the ball. First and 10 from their 22. Sklenar, 3 receivers high. McGregor to his right. Sklenar has been mercurial tonight, to say the least. 2 huge plays, this offense cutting up the Wooster defense. So Sklenar doesn't like what he sees downfield. Tucks and runs. Not able to get much before he's dragged down at the 23-yard line, where he's brought down by number 45 for the Scots, Ian Crawford. Crawford's made some very solid plays so far, been the most outstanding player for this Denison for the Wooster defense so far tonight. Now Denison will break the huddle. 2 receivers high, 1 low. Sklenar in the pistol formation. McGregor shifts in right to the right side of Sklenar, who will tuck and run. Oh, he's brought down expertly. Nice pass rush that time before he's tripped up by the Wooster man, Riley Marco from South Salem, Ohio. Marco got a big paw on the feet of Sklenar and took him to the ground. So it'll be a 3rd down and long for the Big Red, as the first quarter is starting to wind down here. 33 seconds left. Be a 3rd down and 12. 3 receivers high, 1 low. Sklenar in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Looks to his left. Oh, pressure up. Sklenar evades 1 rusher. He'll work up the right side, see if he finds anyone. Throws it back. No can do. Had a receiver running through the middle of the field, but just unable to connect. Richie Weeman was the target of Sklenar as Sklenar was running out of real estate there. Stood up to Weeman, who kind of found some space in between the linebackers and the safeties, but unable to connect. It'll be incomplete, and Denison will be forced to punt. Andy Shaw will make his first appearance on this game. Alex Book out to snap. Denison goes with the spread formation on this punt. The snap, low. Shaw kicks it. It's a low liner. That will take a Denison bounce, though, and go out of bounds. The Denison the Wooster 40-yard line. So Shaw able to handle the snap well. Didn't get the best of legs on it, but the friendly Denison turf gives it a kind roll for Coach Cheatham. He'll love to see that. Well, Wooster will take the ball now at their 38-yard line after that punt from Andy Shaw, another senior on this team. Now 7.2 seconds left in the first. Barnes in the shotgun. Justin Rice. One receiver is his receiver down low. Two receivers high. He'll hand to Hackle. Hackle finds some space on the left side. Oh, good hard run. No, it wasn't Hackle, excuse me. The ball carrier for Wooster was Derek Johnson Jr., a freshman from Marietta, Georgia. And that will bring things to a close here in the first. Denison up on the Fighting Scots, 14-7 here at Deeds Field Piper Stadium on the Denison Sports Network. Welcome back to Deeds Field Piper Stadium. It'll be a 2nd and 4 at the Wooster 44-yard line. Now that Barnes will hand off to Johnson Jr. Unable to make much happen, though. Tripped up well by Carney Foley. So it'll be a 3rd down and 3. Big 3rd down here for the Scots. Barnes will hand it up the middle. Now swung up back. We'll see where they spot it. Should be an interesting call, as I believe it was Johnson Jr. who got the carry. Looked like he reached. Looked like he had reached the first down marker, but then was swung back. And they will spot him pretty much where he was swung back to. And that makes it a 4th down and 2-yard lines. The Wooster coaches animated in disagreement with the officials, but nothing they can do now. So it'll be a punt formation for the Scots as Gerwig makes his way onto the field. Back for the Big Red is Willingham again, so coach will give him another shot. The punt, nice kick. Willingham will take it in at about the 15. No, he lets it go, and that will go directly out of bounds. Went down, hit left. Denison should get the ball at about their own 18-yard line, so Brandon Sklenar will lead the troops out. So tonight, the only receiver really to speak of that's made an impact has been DuShawn Brown, and what an impact he has made. DuShawn has had a good carry, and twice has really shredded that Wooster defense at the middle. One for a long, long touchdown. Sklenar's looked very good, especially on the ground, giving Wooster all sorts of fits. Last year it was Barnes, the Wooster quarterback, who really tore up the Denison secondary on their way to the win. But this year, Sklenar taking the burden on his shoulders. Now McGregor fights upfield, not much doing there, so he'll work his way to the 20 for about a 2-yard gain, making it a 2nd and 8. There's some injury news. Senior and star guard Tom Demers is currently on crutches. Had an ice pack on his left foot. The ice pack has come off, but he's still on crutches. No helmet to be found, so I would not be anticipating a return from the biggest player on this Denison squad. So now Sklenar is 2nd down and 8. McGregor, play action. He'll roll out, throws deep. Complete. Complete, no, ruled incomplete. Sklenar rolled out to his left. Tried to find Charlie Mueller, but Mueller unable to hang on. Great play from the secondary of Wooster. Looked like it was Brandon James who got in there at the last second to cause that pass to be incomplete. The senior with a huge play, forcing a 3rd down and 8 for the Big Red. Now Sklenar in the shotgun. Sklenar fires. DuShawn Brown's got space. Oh, and he's finally wrapped up, just caught on his heels. Oh, Brown looked like he was going to run all day right there. It's a 1st down for the Big Red. Tripped up by Christian Golden from Aurora, Ohio. Finally brings down DuShawn Brown. Brown comes to Denison all the way from Phoenix, Arizona. Denison really prides itself as a school on being such a national school, reflected in all of their athletic teams. DuShawn Brown, a great example of that. They will go anywhere to find great scholar athletes here at the university. DuShawn Brown all the way from Arizona. In the jet sweep now. Sklenar hands it off to McGregor. Instead, McGregor bottled up for a loss of 2. So nice play that time by Zerniak on the Wooster defense. So bring up a 2nd down and 12. Denison's defense stepped up very well in that 1st quarter and the beginning of the 2nd quarter. They've looked very good so far. Wooster unable to get anything going. No real vertical threat. Sklenar fades in the pocket, takes a big hit. Driven into the ground, forcing an incomplete pass. Great pass rush that time by Matt Osolinski. Oh, linebacker blitz. Perfectly timed. Forces Sklenar just kind of get rid of that ball. Bringing up a 3rd down and 12, 11:35 left. Sklenar 3 receivers high, 1 low in the shotgun. McGregor behind him. Now McGregor motions up to his right side. Sklenar drops. She's at the 30. Fires in the middle. DuShawn Brown on that post route. Man, they must have seen something on tape. Coach Hayden dialing up another perfect call on 3rd down. There's a soft spot in that Wooster defense, and it's right in the middle like the Doughboy. Soft stomach here, right in the middle. DuShawn Brown able to take that reception, work his way upfield. It'll be another 1st down for the Big Red. He moves the ball on a 15-yard gain all the way to the Wooster 45-yard line. Now Sklenar be an open set for the Big Red. 14-7. Again, I'm Nick Caravana bringing you tonight's broadcast on the Denison Sports Network. Sklenar on the draw, works his way upfield. Finally taken down, does a nice job of gaining a few there. It'll be a 3 yards in total. Tonight's broadcast is a low bandwidth broadcast. You may have noticed our picture quality not up to the normal standard that we usually have. That's because we've had some internet network issues on Denison's campus all day. The low bandwidth has been chosen to try to bring you the most consistent stream. So we do apologize for the lack of clarity in the images, but we do hope you're enjoying your Saturday night, and thank you for joining us as Denison and Wooster battle for the Big Red Lantern. Now, Dom Vamosi targeted by Sklenar, who throws another quick pass. It was a great pass rush from the Scots. Forced Sklenar to really throw that ball away. Vamosi unable to ever make the catch, corral it in. Make it now a 3rd down and 7. Now the crowd here buzzing tonight. This Denison stands look very full. Wooster making a nice showing themselves. The Fighting Scots not too far away from Northern Ohio. Coming down for this big conference matchup. Now Sklenar in the shotgun. 3rd down and 8. Fires across the middle. Sklenar's pass Picked off by the safety. Oh, Sklenar's pass off the hand of his intended receiver, Mueller, and picked off by the Wooster safety after the deflection. Oh, what a turn of events that time. I'll try to get the man who had the pick. Say Adam Kompoff with the pick. Well, either way, Wooster forces the first turnover of the game as Sklenar's pass up the post falls incomplete, a bit too high, offensive receiver, and taken in by the Wooster defensive back to the ground. He fell, though, making the interception. So now Barnes trying to make a pass for himself. Falls incomplete. Really just a short punt, in essence, that interception, but still gets the momentum on the side of the Scots. Denison looked to be driving. Sklenar had his man, but they were unable to connect. Now Barnes in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Rolls to his right. Strip! Sack! Ball's out! Ball's out and recovered. Strip sack forced by the defensive line of Denison, recovered by Pat Carney Foley. Came with that ball on the ground, but there's some laundry on the field.
On the defense, number 99, 10-yard penalty. Result, first down.
Oh no, a holding call on the defense. So wipe off the turnover. Lars Soderberg penalized for defensive holding. That will give the Scots another chance. Wiping off the turnover, they will move forward, and a first down will be first down at their 37-yard line. So a wild turn of events here, too. Looked like 2 turnovers in about 30 seconds, but not to be. Denison called for a defensive holding penalty. Not a very common call. Now the handoff up the side of the field, taken well. Oh, great cut that time. It was Sean Hackle. Hackle finally wrestled out of bounds as he's slow to get up on the Denison sideline, but he found plenty of space. Hackle's looked very quick tonight. Oh, he's down. Not sure if it's a lower leg injury. He seems to be frustrated, like it might be he sort of knows what that injury is. As an athlete, you sometimes know when you sprain an ankle, you just know right away that things are not feeling correctly and that you might be done. Hackle limping off. So game will take a pause here. Now the Big Red will huddle up on defense as the Scots huddle up on offense as Hackle, flanked by teammate on either side, will limp off the field. You hate to see that. Any injury on the field, especially to such a outstanding player as Hackle is shown to be tonight, the senior, as he's ending the end of his football career. Hopefully he can tape that up and get back in the game. Denison on the season is 2-4. Their wins have come against Earlham and Ohio Wesleyan. Always great to beat the Bishops from Delaware, Ohio, a little bit north of Columbus. Wooster's wins have come against Oberlin, Hiram, and Allegheny. Now that Hackle's off, Barnes will take the shotgun snap. Quick swing past the outside, but gobbled up by the defensive backs of Denison. Tyler Smith, for he's wrapped up well. By the Denison defense. A real gang tackle that time. Looked like Bridges was the first man in. Now, Barnes drops underneath. Had his target. Darian Owens hit him in the hands. Owens, who had a huge game last year against the Big Red, has Had a slow start to this one. Had that one slip through his fingers. I'll bring up a 3rd down and 9. 8:51 left in the second quarter. Denison 14-7. Wooster, though, driving. 3rd and 9. Barnes looks to the sideline. They'll change the play. 5 receivers. Empty backfield. 3 receivers low. 2 high. Barnes takes the snap. Pressure from the defense coming. Barnes evades one. Hit, though, and he'll be brought to the ground to the 50-yard line. Looks like the first man in for the Denison defense to wrap him up and bring him down was Anthony Cernas off the edge. Cernas will get credit with the sack. Great call from the Denison defense. That's a perfectly timed blitz. They brought 6 guys. Wooster only had 5 in to block. Barnes unable to get his hot read out quick, so he had to just swallow it, take the sack at about the 50-yard line. That will force the Scots into punt as Gerwig lets it go tonight. Nice high punt. Willingham lets it go, and that falls into the end zone. So Denison will get the ball at the 20-yard line, only about a 20-yard net change on the kick. Be a 1st and 10 for the Big Red with 8 minutes left. Denison tonight having their breast cancer awareness game. Many of the players tape in that bright fluorescent pink. The cheerleaders wearing pink bows on their head as Denison does its best to raise awareness of breast cancer and search for the cure. Now Sklenar. Oh, Sklenar so quick tonight. Had a little read option that time with his buddy Everett McGregor. He decided to keep it, though, work his way upfield, and he'll get a very solid 8 yards. The Denison defense does its job, forcing Wooster out. They've played very well. The offense has also looked good tonight. They've left a few plays on the field, but cannot be too disappointed with their effort. 14 points in the first quarter. They haven't had much going here in the second. Sklenar will hand. No, he keeps. McGregor, he'll dive for it, and that should be plenty for the first down. Sklenar keeping on the ground. He's been electric on that read option keep. Move the chains. First down, Big Red from the 32-yard line. Denison will break the huddle. Up a touchdown. 2 receivers high, 2 low. McGregor behind Sklenar. Sklenar takes the snap. Play action. Moves in the pocket. Steps up. Oh, and finds a receiver. Over the shoulder catch on the route up the Denison sideline. Richie Weeman hauled it in. Oh, Weeman, beautiful play that time, looking it in, that basket catch. Woo, perfect connection from Weeman and Sklenar. Weeman has really emerged as a player this year for the Big Red. As a nice compliment to DuShawn Brown. Sklenar tossed that one in. Great loft on that pass. Let Weeman run under it, who handled it. Taken to the turf. First down, Big Red at the Wooster 30-yard line. Sklenar, play action. Has a man in the middle. Fires. It's Brown. Brown hauls it in at the 5. Brown on that deep post once again. That deep post, working so well for the Big Red. And Sklenar's been throwing it beautifully all day. Nice job by Brown to attack that ball in the air. He was quickly brought down by the cornerback, but nonetheless, a 24-yard gain as the ball is spotted at the 6-yard line. Sklenar hands to McGregor. McGregor fights up the gut. He spins all the way to, that looks like the 1-yard line. So it'll be a second down at the Wooster 1-yard line. 5 minutes, 40 seconds left, knocking on the door. Denison trying to make this a 2-touchdown game. 20 seconds left on the play clock. Denison air raid offense has really been the key to their drive so far. Weeman and DuShawn Brown doing the damage. Now Sklenar with McGregor behind him. Play action. Oh, man's open in the middle. Beautiful play. I think that's Lair in the back of the end zone. Sklenar hits him. Touchdown, Big Red. Touchdown, Big Red. Ring the bell. Oh, beautiful play design that time by Coach Hayden. They had 3 receivers, 2 low, 1 high. No one accounted for the tight end who slipped right in the middle of the field after that play action. The linebacker bit. 6 more points to the Big Red, giving Sklenar his second pass in touchdown of the day to go along with the run. Paracchia will work his way in the field. It's currently 20-7. At a single, 21-7. Denison with the 2-touchdown lead. So here in the Big Red, pushing this game forward. Another touchdown from the hands of Brandon Sklenar. Found Cam Lair, and Lair, a very good blocker, along and has shown some sweet hands, soft hands on that play to reel it in. The Big Red up early here at home. A beautiful night, perfect temperature for the game. Very comfortable. We have a great turnout from the students. It's been such a great day on campus today. There's been a men's soccer game, a women's soccer game. Students have been out and about, taking in, hopefully not, but surely yes, one of the last nice days of fall here in Ohio before it turns cold and gray. Now Paracchio will kick. He'll kick deep to Owens and Tyler Smith. Paracchio, oh, again, a short chip. Fielded by Ullman. Ullman, nice work. Up that left side, makes one man miss. Fights hard to get to the 37-yard line. So Denison going with a conservative plan on that kickoff. Not going to give the playmakers of Wooster much time to handle deep. And they'll concede pretty good field position, but don't want to give up any 6 points. That seems to be a great strategy. I like where Coach Hayden is going with that. The Denison defense has looked so solid tonight. Wooster's had one very good drive, but other than that, they've been bottled up. Barnes, who really destroyed the Big Red last year, both through the air and with his legs. He was an ultra-efficient quarterback for the Scots. Hasn't been able to get really anything going on the air. No vertical passes. Nothing over 10 yards has been completed so far. Barnes, really short, accurate passer. He's going to need to get a little more time in the pocket, stretch this defense. Denison not keeping any safeties high, loading up the box. Barnes fighting. Oh, he's sacked. Sack lunch in the backfield as the Big Red take him to the turf. Oh, the defensive linemen all ganged up on poor Mr. Richard Barnes. That was just mean from the backyard boys that time as they slung him to the ground. I think Soderberg was in on that. Call was in on that. And Baker all making their presence felt. Bring up a 3rd down and 18. Wow, Barnes was ready to go, but would there be a false start now? Oh. Mistakes just piling on top of each other. Just tsunami of errors for the Scots, making this a very precarious 3rd down. Be a 3rd down and 23 from their own 25-yard line. 4 minutes left to go in the second. Oh, and a free rusher. Barnes is dropped. Barnes is dropped. Taken to the turf. Beautifully timed rush that time. It was Chad Razor. No, not Chad Razor, excuse me. Zach Neufeld. My mistake, Zach Neufeld, who's been a beast all season on the defensive line. Unaccounted for on that play. Takes down bars, forces the punt. Willingham fields it at the 40. Works the way upfield, got some space. Cuts up one, cuts by two. Balls out, balls out. Willingham, he's popped. Willingham was just popped as he worked his way upfield. That ball fluttered into the air. Not sure who brought it down. The Wooster men on the field signaling it was their ball. Denison now, players saying it's theirs. Willingham, that's his second turnover. And we'll see who they give it to. Looks like no official call has been made yet. Willingham, his second fumble on return. We'll see if this one is as fortunate as his last one. There's also some laundry on the field, it looks like. Fumble recovered by Wooster. Fumble recovered by Wooster. There was a hold on the play by Denison. So that great return by Willingham would have been negated anyways. But they declined the penalty, take the result of the play, which was a fumble recovered by the Scots. Oh, what a break for the Scots and a big mistake for Denison. Willingham, his second fumble. We'll see if Coach Haim decides to put another man back there to return punts for the rest of this game. So Barnes will get another crack of this Denison defense. He'll have to do a throwback screen. Fighting. Great hustle that time by Justin Rice, who took that pass and fought his way upfield for a gain of 7 yards. It's second down and 2:50 left in the second. And I'm Nick Caravana bringing you tonight's action on the Denison Sports Network. A low bandwidth broadcast due to some network problems. We apologize for the lack of picture quality tonight, but we'll do our best to keep you updated with the action. Now Barnes works his way at the left side. It's a keeper. Finally brought down well past the first down marker. Moved the chains from the Denison 40-yard line. Wooster, a fresh set, 21-7, Big Red, but Barnes and the Scots drive in. Barnes in the shotgun, 3 receivers low, 1 high. Another quick pass. There's some space. Out of bounds. Finally pushed to the sideline is Darian Owens. Owens took that pass all the way up about 9 yards. And he got out of bounds very smartly. Slow the game clock here as things are starting to wind down. 2 minutes, 10 seconds left. And Denison will call a timeout. We'll take one with him here on the Denison Sports Network. Big Red up by 14. Lights here on Denison's University campus. Wooster, second down and 1. Barnes, quick pass over to the left side. First down gained by the Scots. Sean Hackle, he's back in the game. Good for him. Hackle took that swing pass. Able to get upfield and get upfield. Quick was the senior. All the way to the Denison 27-yard line, about a 6-yard gain. And the chains continue to move for the Scots as they're driving. Now Barnes rolls out to the right. Throws it short. Good play from Barnes to find Tyler Smith, who does a good job of keeping his feet in bounds. 5-yard gain for the Scots. Also, Smith tapping those feet before he went out of bounds. But out of bounds he did go, so the clock will stop. Now Barnes in the shotgun, 3 receivers high. He'll fire this one side. Owens makes the reception. Whistle to completion down at the 10-yard line. Another first down for the Scots, bringing up a first down and goal. 1:47 left. Barnes looking like he's getting a little more time in the pocket, and when he does, he's able to find some matchups he's liked. Now Barnes, Wooster with 3 receivers high, tight end in. Hackle to the left. Barnes, play action, throws a deep post. Perfect pass. Oh, off the hands of his intended receiver, Justin Rice. No, not Justin Rice. It was Darian Owens who had the pass in his hands, going to make that breadbasket over the shoulder catch. Could not hang on. Beautiful play call and execution that time. But Owens just unable to make the catch. Wooster will stay in the same formation they were in the play previous. This time Barnes keeps it, fights his way upfield. The big man, not easy to take down, drags defenders all the way to the 2-yard line. Before Weidenbach able to bring him to the ground. It'll be a 3rd down and goal. 3 yards to go. 1 receiver high, 1 low. Handoff. Inside. Fighting. Brought down. No touchdown. No touchdown. Denison defense holds. Coach Hayden calls a timeout. Coach Hayden will call a timeout. That'll bring up a 4th down. The 2nd timeout of the half used up by the Big Red. The big game clock will be set at 1:07 as Wooster have a 4th down. Score right now is 21-7. The Scots about 3.5 yards to go to get in the end zone. I'm a big fan of going for it here on 4th down. I don't see what 3 points really does for you down by 14. It's still a 2-possession game. They got a great chance here. If they don't get it, Denison pinned very deep. I'm sure that they'll probably just sit on the ball and go in. Well, Wooster will get the ball at the half, as they'll get the ball in the second half to start. We will see what they decide to do. Barnes, a real run pass option. We'll see if they decide to roll him out. Ball's over on the right hash, so may turn him to the left. There's a little more space, extra about 15 yards, 10 yards over there. No, it will be a kick formation. So Coach Colapreti decides the kick will be the better option. So Trevor Bowden. Bowden up. Kick was almost blocked, but that one sails comfortably right down the upright, splits him. 3 points for the Scots, making it 21-10 with 1:01 left. We'll see what Coach Hayden and his staff decide to do here. Probably depends somewhat on this return. How far over upfield the Big Red are able to bring it. So Wooster, the College of Wooster, the Fighting Scots, with a very nice drive to end things in the second quarter. Get all the way down to the Denison 3-yard line before they're stuffed on 3 consecutive plays and forced into a field goal. Credit to Bowden, who knocks it through very comfortably, like an extra point pretty much. No problem for him. 21-10 now, a minute left. Bowden will kick. Bodine up, fielded by Baird. Baird all the way up to the 35, fights through another tackler. 35 where he's taken down, ball's out once again, but the official whistled the man down. But Denison will have the ball at 35. 1 timeout left, 55 seconds to go. They've had excellent success moving the ball through the air.
First and 10, Denison.
And they start this possession with a 4-receiver set, too high, too low. McGregor behind Sklenar. Sklenar in the shotgun. Sklenar to pass. Fires over to the corner. Hauled in by Hunter Winans. That's almost a 20-yard gain for the Big Red. Great first play for the Big Red. 20-yard gain on the pass from Sklenar to Winans. 50 seconds left. Clock stops as Winans goes out of bounds. It'll be Sklenar now. Rolls out right. Finds DuShawn Brown. DuShawn Brown up the field. He'll go out of bounds. 2 very nice plays. That's a 14-yard gain in total from Sklenar to Brown as Sklenar rolled out to the left. DuShawn Brown on the drag route. Got underneath the defense. Picked up the ball. Turned it upfield. Decided to go out of bounds. 44 seconds left. Denison operating very efficiently here. The end 2 for 2 on this drive for Sklenar. Now Sklenar rolls to the right. Towards Don Vamosi. Vamosi completes the catch on the 15 yards. Denison moving down in big clips of yards right now. And Vamosi finally forced out after a gain of 16. Don Vamosi. The ball will be spotted at the 15-yard line. 38 seconds left to play. Clock stopped. Denison does still have 1 timeout. Now Sklenar. Kaminsky to his right. McGregor behind him. DuShawn Brown, solo receiver below. 2 receivers up top. Sklenar. Blitz. Sklenar gets it away. Finds Brown. Oh! Brown had him on the slant, but Sklenar led Brown about 2 yards too many. The pass will fall incomplete. Bringing up a 2nd down and 10 for the driving Big Red. The Big Red today in the game without senior star running back Colin Morris. Morris with a lower body injury ruled out for this week. They're on their, I believe, 7th running back of the year, according to Sports Information Director Craig Hicks, after they've had just a unbelievable rash of injuries in the spot. Sklenar doesn't care, though. He'll keep throwing the ball. He finds DuShawn Brown. DuShawn Brown to the back. It's a touchdown. It is a touchdown. What a pitch and catch. So Brown reels it in. He was a lone receiver down low, ran that back shoulder fade. Sklenar tossed it up. Beautiful, beautiful throw from Brandon. And DuShawn Brown caught it, tapped the left foot before he was out of bounds in that deep corner. 6 more points for the Big Red. 27-6, a huge touchdown as the half is starting to draw to a close. What a drive for the Big Red as Paracchio now settles under. Paracchio up. Paracchio through. The kick is good, making it 28-10. 28-10 after that connection from Sklenar to DuShawn Brown. The Denison offense exploding here in the first half as the crowd is going and rolling as the music's been turned on before this kickoff by Paracchio. Denison's looked unstoppable tonight. Sklenar to Brown especially lethal. DuShawn Brown, an absolute star in this conference. Single coverage. I must ask why. They have just been getting smoked by DuShawn Brown all day. Maybe a safety over the top. No one to be found. Just a cornerback and Brown one-on-one, and the cornerback left in the dust all day today. Paracchio's kick, a low liner, fielded by the Scots. Not much doing for them, as they'll be taken to the ground. We'll have a flag on the play. Penalty, lack of discipline on the Big Red, or the Scots, we'll see. After the play, it's an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Wooster. On Wooster, the Scots with just destroying any chance of that, really hampering their chance of maybe coming down for points here. They have 3 timeouts. As the 26.9 seconds left, the first half is winding to a close. The ball was going to be at about the 37-yard line. Dropped all the way back to the 20 after that penalty. So Barnes will now take the snap in the shotgun. It's 3 timeouts left, 28-10. Big Red on top. Barnes, 3 receivers high. Will step in and fire. First play complete. Finds his man. That was Dan Gorzinski. Gorzinski on the catch, his first of the day. 17-yard gain for the Scots. 22 seconds left. The clock stops. Gorzinski out of bounds. 3 timeout still. Barnes rolls to the left. Sets his feet. Fires. Upfield and taken out after a gain looks like it's close to the first down. Finally knocked out of bounds. Ashton Millett getting some game time here. Now the screen. Oh, great wrap up. That time by Denison defense. The screen to Hackle. Looked like there was some space, but nothing doing. As the Denison defensive lineman Cameron Call showing some quick feet, a dancing bear out there in the middle of the field, brings down the elusive Hackle. And Wooster will take a timeout. We'll take one with them on the Denison Sports Network. The Big Red up by 18. Welcome back. Wooster driving upfield. Barnes in the shotgun, takes the snap, fires. The ball bounced around, whistled out of bounds. What a bizarre play that time as Barnes tossed it to his receiver. I think it was Rice, and Rice lateraled it back to Owens. Maybe a hook and ladder type play that time. Didn't come off that well, but a gain of 8. I think it's a timeout. No, they'll reset the game clock. The timeout, Worcester will take a timeout. They will also reset the game clock. There's 3 seconds left. The ball will be at the Denison 44-yard line. So I think that's a pretty comfortable range. You'd like to think Barnes could get the ball down there. give one final heave. Now that field goal call by Coach Colapreti really has come back to bite Wooster. Even though it was good, he gave Denison plenty of time. There's plenty of time on the clock for Denison to drive downfield, and they give some credit to Sklenar and the troops. They did go right down the field and march down. It was a 4-point swing, that 30 seconds, where you go for it. If you're the Scots, you get it, you get a touchdown. That's got to feel great going to the locker room, making this just a one-score game. You don't get it, you leave Denison 95 yards to go. But instead, the field goal was chosen, and Denison just walks down the field for a touchdown. Their offense looked very good. We'll have a flag on the play was setting up right before the snap. Barnes looked like a false start, I believe, on the Scots. That'll push things back from the 44 to about the 48.5-yard line, 49. Well, Wooster will make this Hail Mary a bit more difficult. The Big Red throwing 4 guys back, about 30 yards off the line of scrimmage. A different quarterback for Wooster. I believe it's David Smith in there. Smith's got a big arm. He'll fire. Short, though. That pass complete, but well short of the end zone. So that'll just be a stat sheet stuffer. Justin Rice hauls it in, but he's dragged down by a plethora of Denison defenders at the 13-yard line, and the half will expire. So the Big Red jog in the locker room with a 28-10 lead over the Wooster Scots. We'll be back to bring you the second half. We'll take a break here in the booth for a bit. I'm Nick Caravana, bringing you Denison football on the Denison Sports Network. Welcome back to Deeds Field, Piper Stadium. I'm Nick Caravana, bringing you tonight's NCAC North Coast Athletic Conference clash of the Denison Big Red taking on the visiting Wooster Fighting Scots. In the first half, Denison amassed 28 points. They were led, of course, by their quarterback, Brandon Sklenar, who threw for 272 yards and 3 touchdowns. His leading target on a record-setting pace is DuShawn Brown, who had 196 yards and 2 of those touchdowns. On the ground, Sklenar also did a little bit of damage as he ran for 87 yards, including a touchdown on his 63-yard touchdown run. Wooster, though, they get on the board. In the passing game, Richard Barnes is thrown for 114 yards. But on the ground, Sean Hackle found the end zone to make it 7-7 early in the first quarter. And then Wooster put in a field goal in the final minute of the second with Trevor Bowden. So it's 28-10 as Paracchio kicks it off to start the second half. The Big Red looking to get their first win in a couple of games here. The return man's wrapped up as Denison sticks with their short kick strategy. Works effectively. Again, Wooster will take over with solid field position at their 37-yard line. Denison's defense very solid in the first half. Unable to force any turnovers by the Scots, but limited them to just 10 points and Barnes to just 5.7 yards per completion. Now Barnes hands off to Hackle. Hackle taken down the line of scrimmage. Gain of nothing. The Big Red hold the Scots in the first play. But Wooster, though, back to the line quick. Barnes hands to Hackle. Hackle off the left side. Finds space. Into the second level. Runs over the cornerback. 15 at least yard gain. Oh, make it 20. Hackle up that left side, that outside run where Hackle has gone from the right side across Barnes' face to the left side and curled outside. That tackle has worked very well for the Scots. They'll run it again. Hackle this time, though, not quite able to find as much space, but he works hard, able to get a solid gain of about 2.5, 3 yards. It looked like it could have been a negative play as Denison's cornerback on the side read the play well. Weidenbach able to finally force him out. So it'll be a 2nd down and 8 at the Denison 40-yard line. Now Barnes, play action. Finds his man in the open field. Complete. Tyler Smith on the catch. The freshman reels it in and moves the chains for the Scots. The Scots working at a NASCAR-like pace right here. So this play call is in and out. The coaches, you can hear them screaming, faster, faster, get to the line. Now Barnes makes the blitzer miss. Incomplete pass. Oh, Barnes did a great job of avoiding the blitz. But Joel Lahua and his pass, though, fell incomplete as he targeted Owens. But Owens unable to come with the catch, a low ball. Now another snap. Into some space before Lahua takes him to the ground. Is Hackle. And Hackle's down now after that play. Hackle, a warrior-like effort tonight. Fighting through, there's something bothering him. He just keeps fighting through it. So much speed, still a hard runner. That run was good for 8 yards as Hackle will be helped now to the sideline by the trainer. The training stash as he's limping under his own, a man under each shoulder. But Hackle putting pressure on his leg. Not sure what the issue is there. I hope to see him again back in action. Barnes coming out, leading the troops well, but Hackle's really been the guy on this drive as his running has paced the Scots so far. Wooster on Denison 20-yard line now on 3rd and 2. 13:10 left in the third period. Now Barnes in the shotgun, one receiver high, one low, 2 tight ends. Hands. Wrapped up, though, at the 21. He handed to Smith. Tyler Smith took that handoff, but was unable to get upfield before he was wrapped up by Pat Carney-Foley. So it'll be a 4th down and 1. The Scots playing aggressive. They'll go for it. Barnes keeps it. Barnes stretches. Got it. Barnes will get it by a yard. Great play by Barnes on that zone read. Decided to keep it. Followed his left tackle, like Nick Flannery, with the solid block along with Kelbley. So the Big Red now will defend. Barnes fires to the end zone. Incomplete. Barnes fired to the end zone towards, looked like Darian Owens. And Owens was unable to tap that foot, though. Forcing the incompletion, and the Big Red now will defend 2nd down and 10 from their own 16. Barnes in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Owens in motion. Jet sweep. Owens. Wrestle to the ground. Great tackle for the Big Red by Romick. Romick took Owens and by the shoulders and just wrestled him down to the beautiful field turf surface here on Deeds Field. Forcing the 3rd down. Barnes in the shotgun. Quick snap. He'll fire. Throwback screen. Red well. Gang tackle by the Big Red. will push. I believe it was Smith on the pass. Smith can't get anything going, forcing a fourth down. It'll be a fourth down and about 15 yards. We'll see. It's kind of in a see what kind of the range is on the kicker. If Bowden can knock this in. All right, well, Bowden will attempt it. He'll kick from the 28, which makes this a 38-yard field goal. He's over on the left hash. Fourth down and 15. Bowden snaps, good. Kicks up, blocked. Denison blocks. Ball rolls to the back of the end zone. Play is whistled dead. The play is whistled dead. Block for the Big Red. Looks like Pat Carney Foley got in there and blocked that kick. So a huge special teams win for the Big Red. It would have been nice to get 3 points for the Scots. As Bowden, he's gone 3 for 4 on the year. That would have been his long, though. Not able to get enough height on the kick. Denison busts through the line to block it. Nice work that time from the Denison special teams. So a tough play that time for Wooster. 4th down and 15. Really didn't have much of a choice but try to get some points. Now McGregor. Good tough run by the freshman. 5 yards to the 25. So Sklenar, the quarterback, of course, leading the troops out. 10:15 left in the third. Sklenar, 2 receivers high, 1 low. McGregor behind him. Zone read. Brandon will keep it. Not able to get much. Falls forward for a yard, bringing up a 3rd down.
Ian Crawford on the stop for the Fighting Scots.
It's a 3rd down and 4 for the Big Red. The Big Red, 28 points. DuShawn Brown with almost 200 receiving yards in a single half. According to Sports Information Director Craig Hicks, puts him about 40 yards off the all-time single game record in just a half. So DuShawn's got a great chance at that. Now Sklenar finds DuShawn Brown, but there's some dirty laundry on the field. I think this one's coming back. Hold everything, folks. Denison offensive line will be called for a hold. So that 15-yard completion to DuShawn Brown wiped off the board. Denison will be pushed back now to their 17-yard line. This brings up a 3rd down and 14. We'll see what Coach Haim decides to do. Kind of deep in his own territory. If the Big Red play aggressively, they've looked very good so far on 3rd downs. Now DuShawn Brown on the left side commanding a safety over the top and an off corner. He's got 3 guys over on his side. Still, though, Sklenar targets DuShawn. DuShawn had a chance even to make the play. Flag thrown. Looks like it could be a pass interference penalty called on Christian Golden. Not sure. Yep, that was the call. Number 5 for Wooster. That is the sophomore, Christian Golden, out of Aurora, Ohio, Bedford High School. Got to DuShawn Brown just a split second too early as Sklenar targeted Brown and threw him really the perfect pass, kind of right along the sideline that only Brown could make a play on it. He was able to bring it down, but hit a moment before the pass by Golden. So a 15-yard penalty. Move the chains. First down, Big Red. They're out there at 32. Now Brandon Sklenar scrambles along the right side. It was a read option. Sklenar avoided the on-rusher defender. Gains 2 yards before Brandon James brings him to the ground. 8:10 remaining in the third quarter. Denison 18-point lead still. Sklenar has been really the key to tonight's performance for the Big Red, both on the ground and through the air. Dual threat he has been. That pass to DuShawn Brown off the mark. Just a bit too far. So Sklenar cannot connect. That'll bring up a third down. Real good chance here for the Scots to get off the field. Denison has had success on attacking the middle of that Wooster defense. Now Sklenar finds the screen to DuShawn Brown. DuShawn Brown up, pulled back. This one's going to depend on the spot. It's going to be tight, folks. Too tight to call for me. Might have to bring out the chain gain for this measurement. The linesman's going to spot him at the 42. Tunes lineman's a little bit of a difference between one linesman on one side, one lineman on another side. The one who had DuShawn Brown spotted forward the furthest ended up winning the discussion as the play was on his side of the field. So the chain gang gets a little use tonight. First time they've been brought out. Have to oil up the machine there, wipe dust off the cobwebs, see if they can do. And it's going to be, we're waiting for the call from the official. About 6 inches short for the Big Red. And Coach Hayden's going to take the conservative route here. 6 inches to go. 6 inches too many. The Big Red punt team will take the field, led by Andy Shaw. Alex Bookout, senior from Coronado High School, to snap. Shaw has had one punt today. A real low rocket. Bookout snap. On point. Shaw gets it out. Great leg on that one. Drives the returner back. And finally wrapped up. Good punt by Shaw. Good play by the Denison coverage team. They wrapped up. Looked like it was Brandon James. With a return. But hold on, folks. There's a running into the kicker penalty. Repeat, a running into the kicker penalty. That's a 5-yard penalty. On Wooster, assessed right now to Denison, and the Denison offense is back on the field. That 5 yards pushed them across the first down line, the line of gain. So Denison's punt, null and void. They will keep the ball. 5-yard penalty on the Scots. Brandon Sklenar takes the field again. Big Red keep driving. Ball at the 47. Sklenar. Hands off to DuShawn Brown. DuShawn Brown, the jet sweep. Cuts up field. Nice work that time from the Arizonan. Making a little something happen there. About a 6-yard gain for DuShawn. On the jet sweep, he's been used in a multitude of ways. Denison very thin at tailback tonight. We haven't seen much depth. Again, Colin Morris, star captain, senior running back. Lower body injury, out for the game. Most of his replacements have already been ruled out for the season. So the responsibility, the burden, the world falls on the shoulders of Everett McGregor, who's done an admirable job so far this game, running hard. He's got good speed. And there's McGregor right there on cue. Bursts up the middle. Tough guy to take down. Runs hard, runs low, runs fast. McGregor able to get all the way to the Wooster 36-yard line. The Denison first down. McGregor, you can see, maybe not the most elusive guy in the open field. Not the shiftiest, but he runs hard. He's got good speed, and he's always falling forward. Such a great trait in a running back. Always get those 1 or 2 extra yards, and those really add up usually by the end of the game to be another 20, 25 yards and some valuable first downs. Denison using up a bit of clock now. 6 minutes left in the third on this drive. Sklenar in the shotgun. 2 receivers high, 1 low. Sklenar fires. DuShawn Brown left side. Brown makes a play on the ball. Catch complete. Pushed out of bounds by Christian Golden, who once again is on the coverage, but DuShawn Brown, Sklenar threw a perfect back shoulder throw. DuShawn Brown took off on a vertical up the sideline, looked back at his quarterback, saw the ball coming in a little bit slow, slowed his feet. Nothing Golden could do that time. The DB, Brown turns, catches it, Golden pushes him out of bounds. Beautiful play by Sklenar. That looked like Tom Brady to Wes Welker right there. That was fantastic play. Now McGregor takes the handoff, bursts upfield, another couple of yards for the freshman. Pushes that ball from the 7 all the way up to about the 5-yard line. So DuShawn Brown adds to his fantastic night. He's looked very, very good so far. It's been a handful. Christian Golden has been getting. I would just say he's been challenged tonight with the matchup of DuShawn Brown, who's looked certainly like the best receiver on the field tonight without a doubt, and probably the best player. Now Sklenar under center. Sklenar hands out to McGregor. McGregor pops outside. Fights. Finally pushed back at the 3-yard line, where he's finally taken down. Patrick Johnson on the stop for the Scots. So it's about that 2.5-yard line where the 2-point conversion would be attempted, where the ball is spotted. It's a 3rd down, 4 minutes, 30 seconds left. Denison using a little bit of clock on this drive as well. You love to see that. A defense looks comfy and relaxed over there on the sideline as they look on at their offense. Now Sklenar, 3 receivers high, 1 low. DuShawn Brown in motion. Jet sweep, fake. Sklenar, throw back to Brown. Brown's going to walk it in. Brown's going to walk it in, give him his 3rd touchdown of the game, and he deserved that one. Oh, Coach Hayden dialing up the perfect play call for the Big Red. 6 more for the gentleman from Granville. Brand Sklenar, nice job running that fake, threw it back right in the hands of DuShawn Brown, who just high-stepped that one into the end zone from about 2 yards out, making this a 34-10 game with 4 minutes left. Matt Paracchio set to take the extra point. Paracchio's extra point is up and good. 35-10. Big Red on top of the Scots. We'll be back in a minute. Stick and stay here on the Denison Sports Network. Welcome back to Deeds Field, Piper Stadium. Denison with a 25-point lead over the Scots. Paracchio set to kick. And he'll kick a low liner. This one mishandled by the Scots, but picked up. Now up the left side they move all the way to the 32-yard line. Now during the break, it was announced over the loudspeaker that DuShawn Brown, who has 233 yards in the day, has broken the Denison single-game receiving yards record. DuShawn Brown has broken the Denison single-game receiving yards record with 233. DuShawn Brown is just a junior from Phoenix, Arizona, Horizon High School. Certainly one of the greatest players I've ever seen line up for the Big Red I lived in Granville for about 15 years, and he's a game breaker that this program has sorely missed for decades, literally. And DuShawn Brown has brought a real edge to this Denison squad, a playmaker that Brand Sklenar and Coach Hayden find over and over again, as right they should. So congratulations, DuShawn, on the record. Now the Denison defense takes the field, forces an errant pass on first downs, a 2nd and 10 for the Scots. The swing pass to Smith. Smith directed out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. Not much doing, only a gain of 2 that time for Smith before he was forced out by Chapman. And Lucas Romick. Now Barnes, 6-foot senior in the shotgun, 5 wide. Some movement up front though. Looks like one of those linemen wanted to go to lunch a little bit early. Hold on, son. Got here for the teacher to say you can go. It's a 5-yard false start penalty. So that'll move things back. 3rd and 13 for the Big Red. 35-10. The Big Red in the lead. Is a 3rd and 13 for the Scots. Barnes to take. Pressure up the middle. Barnes flush to the right. He fires deep. Incomplete along the Denison sideline. No good. The senior unable to make anything happen that time. Forcing the punt squad from Wooster to take the field. Denison defense goes in and they're out in just 3 plays. Good work from the hardworking men of the Denison D. So Willingham, well, surprisingly, in my opinion at least, Willingham back to handle this kick again. He's at the 30. Low snap, punt, high. Willingham will receive it, and he'll take it upfield. At the 40. At the 40. Pushed out of bounds, flagged down. Looks like it may be a clipping penalty on the Big Red. I just don't see much good coming from from Denison trying to return these punts anymore. Might as well just fair catch it. Take her out, especially with the lead they have. No need to risk a penalty or a turnover and give Wooster life. But all as well that ends well, and 10-yard penalty on the Big Red. They'll keep possession of the ball. They'll take over at their 27-yard line. Sklenar once again will lead the troops out. DuShawn Brown with him, who has set the record tonight for most receiving yards in a single game in Denison football history, and that's been a very, very, very long history, folks. This Denison's been playing football since before the 1900s. State of Ohio, one of the greatest football states in the nation, where the NFL, National Football League, started. The Hall of Fame is located in Canton, a beautiful facility they have up there. Beautiful history of the game. Now DuShawn Brown takes in that short curl and then breaks it upfield all the way to the 40-yard line. DuShawn Brown finally dragged down by Sean Bowman. Bowman quick enough to catch up to DuShawn Brown, but DuShawn Brown, another 35, 40 yards after that reception. So Brown, nice little hook in that time, took it. Had the DB took a poor angle, and DuShawn Brown said, "See you later," up the sideline for the safety, able to trip him up. Now Denison with the ball at the Wooster, 41. Now McGregor up the gut. McGregor not able to find much space to breathe, only a yard gained. DuShawn Brown building on that record-setting night. It's a flat-out star for Denison. The most outstanding player, I would argue, this year on offense. Brand Sklenar, of course, everything runs through him. You have to give the quarterback lots of credit, but DuShawn Brown is been a playmaker of proportions Denison hasn't seen in a long time. Now Brandon in the shotgun. McGregor behind him. One-on-one coverage again. DuShawn Brown. That one's overthrown. Brown had his man beat, but Sklenar overthrew DuShawn by about 5 yards. So Wooster, interesting call on their part, going to single coverage still on DuShawn Brown. I'm not sure what Coach Colapretti and his staff are seeing with that matchup, but no coverage over the top. And DuShawn Brown has just been tearing them up all day. Especially with Denison having such a limited options in the backfield, you'd think that Wooster would be heavy in coverage, try to force McGregor to beat them, but they've decided to keep things close to the line. Now Sklenar, 3rd down and 9. Fires. Sklenar picked off. Sklenar threw that one behind his intended target. Sklenar tried to find Winans on the slant, but woefully underthrew him way behind Winans, and that's picked off by Brandon James, I believe. Brandon James on the pick for Wooster. So pick for Wooster. They're right back in this momentum on their side. 35-10. 1:42 left in the third. Denison turnover. Barnes in the shotgun. He'll give to his Warrior senior buddy in the back, Sean Hackle. Takes it up the left side for about 5 yards before he's brought down by who else but Joe Weidenbach. The man from Naperville has been all over the field today for the Big Red. Now Barnes wrapped up. Barnes wrapped up, sack, and it's an unlikely name, Joel Lahua, in off the corner. Corner blitz dialed up. Woo, sweet call that time for the Big Red. No one saw him coming. Lahua, straight rush on Barnes, drags Barnes down for a loss. It'll be a 3rd down and 14 as the third quarter starts ticking away. We're under a minute here in Granville. Barnes, shotgun, 2 receivers high, too low. Hackle on his left. Takes the snap. Pressure up the middle. By 1. That pass looks to be on, but just overthrown. Oh, Barnes had his man. Last year, those passes were being complete. This year, there's just been a little something off with the Wooster offense. So Barnes had his man, Darian Owens, up the middle of the field, but overthrew him by about a yard. That close. But Owens unable to make the catch, unable to get his hands on it. Nothing he can do that time, forcing Wooster into another punt. It's a 4th down and 14. They'll punt the ball back to the Big Red once again. Here's the punt by Gerwig, fielded by Willingham. Willingham up the left side, takes a hit, holds onto the ball this time. He's down at the 39-yard line. Wooster one more time punts the ball. And there's the penalty flag on the play. So Coach Colapretti forced into a tough call that time. They're down by 25. They need points, but the odds of picking up a 4th down and 14 are pretty low. So they punt the ball, but that punt, much of the punt is negated. After the play, there was a dead ball foul. Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Tyson Vogel, sophomore DB from Ashland, Ohio. And Vogel, it's a 15-yard personal foul, moves the ball all the way from the Denison about 39-yard line to the 50, to now the Wooster 47, I believe is where it's spotted. So the Big Red already in Wooster territory. Up the gut. Good tough run that time. It's Everett McGregor. McGregor busts up field. He's looked pretty solid so far this game. And Everett, him and Sklenar had a little bit of the handoff there. Didn't look to be the cleanest, but it actually might have worked in their favor. The defensive end was a little bit slowed. McGregor busts up the middle. First down, Big Red. End of the fourth quarter. Denison takes a 25-point lead into the fourth at home on the Denison Sports Network. Welcome back to Granville, Ohio. Fourth quarter kicks off. Sklenar in the shotgun. Two receivers low, one high. Denison nursing a 25-point lead. Sklenar takes the snap, hands to McGregor. McGregor busted up the gut. Nothing much doing that time. Good push from the Wooster Scots defensive line. During the break, the fan of the game was announced, and all the way, fan of the game was awarded to Susan Bookout, mother of long snapper Alex Bookout, who came all the way from Coronado, California, the Navy base island right off of San Diego. She traveled all the way out to see her son, a senior, play tonight. So congratulations to Susan Bookout and all the Big Red parents who have put so much into their sons and to this Denison Big Red squad. And to see the team come out with an effort tonight must be satisfying. Sklenar up the right side, forced out of bounds at about the 31. So Sklenar still moving, taking some hits. Now I'm not sure I would have done that if I was Brandon. I might have gotten down at this point. No need to risk it, but that's why I'm in the booth. Brandon's on the field taking the shots. 35-10, Denison up 14 minutes left. It'll bring a 3rd and 8. Sklenar enters the huddle. Denison, the field announcer, also just announced the winner of the big free 39-inch raffle HD TV. So one lucky student gets to go home with a brand new flash screen. Maybe they'll watch the Ohio State game tonight. Hopefully they would be so lucky as to see JT Barrett and the boys taking on the Nittany Lions down in beautiful Happy Valley. 110,000 people taking that one. We've had a nice crowd here, though. Must be said, Denison students making it a great showing for themselves as the Big Red have come out with tons of energy in this game. Jumped to a 25-point lead, 35-10, led by their two offensive stars. Brandon Sklenar, of course, at the quarterback position has just been fantastic, very accurate today. But DuShawn Brown, must be said, has been the star, breaking the Denison single-game receiving record. 4th down and 3. Coach Hamm's going to decide to go for it. Sklenar fading. Pass interference penalty? No, not called. No, catch. Oh, we will see what happens. Sklenar was getting pressure, fading back, tossed it to McGregor. Not McGregor. It was Alex Mackin, I believe, maybe who had entered the game, playing a little offense. Mackin who's backing up McGregor tonight. Mackin started the season on defense, now has moved back to running back as Denison's depth has been dismantled throughout the year. And Denison's awarded a 1st down after that play. Mackin, great reception. Looked like, from my point, the ball had hit the ground, but no, I was over. The official was on the play, said Mackin controlled the ball all the way to the ground, and then it finally popped out. And Denison gets a 1st down on that 4th down. I like that call there from Coach Hayden. Kind of in tough territory there, out of Paracchio's range and very difficult to punt. Now DuShawn Brown targeted in the corner. Sklenar throws a nice high ball, but DuShawn Brown unable to bring it down. Double coverage on him that time. Sklenar maybe getting a little greedy on that one, but can you blame him after the plays DuShawn Brown has been making tonight? So I'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Big Red. Now Sklenar huddles up the group. Denison, if they're able to hang on here tonight, will push their record to 3-4. The Scots will move to 3-4 themselves. But there's still a lot of football to play. Sklenar takes the snap up the middle. McGregor. Oh, McGregor just swallowed. Woo! McGregor swallowed up by number 91, Ben Kumpf, the Pittsburgh man. Swallows up McGregor in the backfield. Nothing McGregor could do there. Really busted line play by the Big Red. We'll bring up a 3rd and long for the Big Red. 3rd and 11. Sklenar has been good so far tonight on 3rd downs. Denison about 40% tonight from 3rd down. They had 23 first downs on the game. Both teams have run similar amount of plays, high 50s. Denison's committed 3 turnovers. So they're losing the turnover battle, but they are winning the game and winning the game handily. Now, DuShawn Brown takes the reception up the field, but wrestled to the ground about the 15-yard line, which is going to be 3 yards. 3 yards short of a first down. And Matt Paracchio will come onto the field. Matt Paracchio sent onto the field. And he'll attempt what looks to be a 32-yard field goal. So Paracchio, Pavlatos, the snap. Paracchio up, has the leg, looks good, and it is. Paracchio feeling it tonight, the senior. Good for Matt. Drives that one through with plenty of space. Could have hit that one from, looked like 48. So 3 more for the Big Red, pushes their lead to 28. Now a 4-touchdown game. A 4-touchdown game. Denison running away with this one. We'll be back in a second on the Big Red Denison Sports Network. Welcome back to the beautiful campus of Denison University, one of the most prestigious liberal arts schools in America. Showing that they can play a little football too tonight. The Big Red up big on the visiting Fighting Scots, 38-10. Nice kick coverage that time for the Big Red. They swallow a return man at the 18-yard line. In some other action for the Big Red today, both men's and women's swimming and diving teams took victories today over the University of Chicago. Congratulations to them. The field hockey team suffered a 1-0 loss against Kenyon. The women's volleyball team won 3-1 against the ladies as well. Men's soccer, as I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, with a huge win over Wabash. Wabash came to the game ranked 12th. Denison blanked them 4-0. Evan Porter, 3 goals. Mark Waterman, 3 assists. Women's soccer, Denison also defeated a ranked team 1-0 over Case Western. And in football, of course, the Big Red up 38-10. Now that kick by Paracchio called back, and there'll be another kickoff, this one from the 30, though. So it must have been a penalty on Denison. Sorry, I did not catch the penalty call. But it'll be a re-kick for the Big Red. Paracchio will give it the boot. He'll send a short chip, fielded about the 30. Fumbled, picked back up to the 42. So Denison conceding all night. Denison's been conceding field position off the kickoff to Wooster, but have avoided any really long returns or any game-breaking plays of the sort. So I'd say the plan has worked out well so far for the Big Red, and they've limited Wooster only 10 points. So good game planning by the coaching staff, led, of course, by Coach Hayden, who came into the year with such promise. Denison still many games to play. They've come in, they've lost a few they thought they were going to win. They have 4 games left, including tonight. It looks like they're going to get the win over Wooster. They have 3 very winnable games coming up. Toughest challenge, most likely, their next game at Oberlin. Going up to visit the Yeomen. It's always an interesting challenge. The Yeomen play on a real bad field, lots of wind, the middle of nowhere. It's a very difficult place to play. They have a great home field advantage, so it should be a great challenge for the Big Red as they go up there next week. And there's a penalty flag on the Big Red, a personal foul on the Big Red, a lack of discipline here in the ends, a 15-yard penalty, and Wooster will work their way upfield. New quarterback in for Wooster, it's Smith. Who's entered the game. Excuse me, not Smith. Smith is not the starter. It is Jake Marasek from North Royalton High School, 6'3" man, has come in and replaced starter Richard Barnes. So Marasek, first pass complete, gain of 8. Marasek, second pass to Tyler Smith, incomplete. Hit Smith right in the hands, but Smith unable to corral it. Wooster maybe changing things up, trying to get something going. And Barnes, in his defense, hasn't had a ton of time to throw. Denison's done a great job on their blitzes. And that defensive line, even rushing forward, is able to get pressure on Barnes, force him out of his pocket, force him to move, making some throws that look like they should be easy. Not so. When your feet are moving like that, you got man in your face. It's tough to complete. Changing things up. They change the moxie up a little bit. The Scots. Now that play by Marasek. Incomplete. Coming all the way over from his safety spot was Bryce Winans, the DB from Ventura, California. Winans makes the play. Nice work on his part. A brother of Hunter Winans, so brothers galore here for the Winans family. There's 3 of them, I believe, on the team. At least 2. Either way, that 4th down. Pass incomplete from Marasek. And Denison will take over on offense. And Brand Sklenar, take a seat, get a hot towel, rest up, because Luke Pavlatos is coming in the game from South Charleston, Ohio. Pavlatos replacing Sklenar. Sklenar's had an amazing day so far for the Big Red. And Coach Hayden smartly deciding it to rest him. I believe DuShawn Brown has also exited the game as we're in the last minutes here of this game. 9 minutes left. Denison in full control. McGregor gained the handoff again. Denison very, very thin at tailback. So McGregor's not going to be coming out of this one anytime soon. He's pretty much their only capable runner at this point. And he's played a very good game. Hasn't been called upon a ton, but he's been called upon, and when his number's been called, he's answered. Running hard, up the middle, tough runner. Well, a false start penalty now on the Big Red. 64 on offense, called for the infraction. That's Alex Malcho. A false start penalty. Making this his 2nd and 13 for the Big Red. Wooster will fall again to 3 and 4. Their remaining games, 2 difficult games, and then 1 game I believe the Scots would like to think they could win. They're going to, they're hosting the Tigers of DePaul next week. DePaul, a surprise team this year in the conference. They were down last year, but bounced back well this year. Then Wooster will host Kenyon, the Lords. And Wooster will finish up against the always aggressive Ohio Wesleyan battling Bishops away in Shelby Stadium in Delaware. So Pavlatos still the quarterback. 1 receiver high, 2 low. Kaminsky the fullback. The handoff to McGregor. Pushes forward, but I don't think he's going to get that first down. At about 3 yards to go. Looks like he only has one. He's met by the defensive line. Marco leading the charge for the Scots. And the punt team will come on the field. The punt team will come on the field. And some other conference scores. Wabash puts a 70 burger on Oberlin. Defeats the Yeomen 70-10. Hiram with a surprise win over the Bishops. They take Ohio Wesleyan 35-28. Kenyon Wittenberg wins easily, 49-7. Now that kick return taken all the way to the 35-yard line. There's a foul, personal foul, face mask on the Big Red. That'll push the ball 15 yards closer to their defensive end zone. And Wooster will now take over at their 47-yard line, about 3 yards from midfield. And again, taking the field. Oh, new quarterback this time looks like it's Gary Muntien from Poland, Ohio. Struthers High School. Muntien seen some time. 5'11" from 180 pounds. Mount Union today. Victorious, surprisingly. Not so. 74-7 over Wilmington. Defiance, Ohio certainly knows how to win Division III football. Very good strategy, using the rules to their advantage up in Mount Union. Huge roster of players. Huge roster of players. Tons and tons of recruits. They cycle through guys and get some of the best Division I transfers who don't work out for various reasons. Division I programs. Representing Ohio in the last, 10, it must be national championship games. Wisconsin Whitewater, number 1 team in the country, also victorious. Mary Hardin Baylor in Texas continues to win. John Carroll here in Ohio, number 7 in the country, crushed Capital 71-7. And Johns Hopkins beat Gettysburg 37-14. Now the long pass. Incomplete. Great coverage that time of the Denison DB. As Muntien testing the Denison DB, but Alex Rayner up to the task. So Wabash has moved up into the top 10 of the Denison polls, and they, again, won going away today. So that spot should be secure. So one team from the NCAC in the top 10. Now high snap, Muntien takes it up the middle, shows some scrambling ability, and that's enough for the first down. So that play looked like it was not going to go anywhere, but it did. Now the Scots driving a little bit. Ball's in the Denison 26. 38-10 still. 6 minutes. Clock is moving here. Denison University. Some of the students have cleared out, head up to the hill to begin their night. As Denison football team started things off right this Saturday with a huge win. Willingham with a big hit on Tyler Smith. Smith caught that swing pass. Willingham went for the legs, and Smith kind of flipped over right there. Gets the crowd going a little bit. The sideline for the Big Red, cheering on the boys. That second string that's in right now. Now Muntien's pass over to the right. Smith will fire. And a touchdown for Wooster. Nice creative play call that time for the Scots. Tyler Smith took the swing pass and then reared back and let one go to his receiver. To Owen. It was Darian Owens who made the final catch on the ball as Smith reared back, let it go about 20-yard path to Owens, who caught it in the end zone. Denison defensive backs kind of on their heels there, assumed that Smith was going to be taking the ball upfield. Owens slipped behind them. Touchdown, Scots. A good creative play calling, but a little bit too late. We'd like to see that maybe in the second or third quarter when things are still tight, but pushes the Wittenberg's total all the way up to 17 now. So Denison 38, Wittenberg 17. I assume an onside kick is coming here for the Scots. And some other action at the half. Some other Ohio football. Ohio State blanking Penn State 17-0. Who knew that Ohio State defense could play? The Silver Bullets might be back, but I can't be too sure. The Big Ten so weak this year. Christian Hackenberg, not a bad quarterback, but not much of a line and not many receivers to throw to. Denison now will call a timeout. They didn't like what they saw in that kickoff, so we'll take them with them. 5 minutes left here as Denison on top of Wooster on the Denison Sports Network. Oh, we're back in Granville, and Wooster lines up. It's Bowden with the kick. He'll do a short pooch kick at Denison Fields. There's some space over on the right side. There's no onside kick. Interesting call that time by the Scots. Kind of a concession on that kick. Not really playing to win the game with the play like that. But all in Denison's favor from their perspective, as Pavlatos will once again jog out to the huddle. Hands in that QB warmer pocket as the temperature has dropped about 10 degrees since the start of the game. It's about 70, 69 when we started. It's about 55, 58 right now. Just good fleece weather. Beautiful day here in Central Ohio. McGregor chopping those feet as he works his way up to the middle of the field. Alex Mackin actually was the ball carrier in that one, and showing some strong determination that time. The sophomore carrying tacklers for about 4 yards, getting all the way up to the 44-yard line. 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. Mackin again takes the carry. And he picks up a big red first down. Stop the clock for a second, but the chains will move. Clock restarts. Denison will probably keep the ball on the ground here as this game comes to a close. So Denison will be 3-4 with a great chance to finish the year with a record above 500 if they're able to beat Wooster, which they will be, pushing them 3-4. Then a game at Oberlin. That should be a tough challenge for the Big Red, but if they're able to get a win, they'll have Allegheny and Kenyon, 2 games I know Coach Hayden likes his team's chances in. Even if they do lose, they could be Allegheny. Even if they do lose next week, they could play Allegheny and Kenyon and fight their way up to 500. Now at the end of that play, it's a personal foul on Wooster, hands to the face on Christian Golden, the DB. So Denison will get another first down. A little bit of fighting between the cornerback and the receiver over on that far side. Obviously some frustration from the Scots, who came into this game, I'm sure, feeling every chance that they had to win. But Denison came out and threw up 28 points in that first half, and Wooster was just unable to match that offensive production. Sklenar and DuShawn Brown were beasts, and Wooster was unable to adjust and handle them throughout this game. Once again, DuShawn Brown breaking the single game receiving yards record here at Denison University. This is a greatly long history of football. DuShawn Brown in the record books. A fantastic playmaker, the best receiver I've seen ever play for Denison Big Red in my 10 years of following Denison football. I've seen some great players, some good hands, some good leapers, but no one has brought all together like DuShawn Brown. A good route runner, great leaper, good hands, and then the speed to take plays that look like they'll be 15-yard gains and make them 50. That's what separates him from the rest. Things all quiet over on the Wooster sideline. Denison much more jovial. Players look relaxed. About under 2 minutes now. It's a 3rd and 11 for the Big Red. Pavlados in. Mackin alongside. Kaminsky with the lead block. Mackin fights off one. Gets all the way to the 36-yard line before he's taken down. Only a gain of about 3. There'll be a 4th down. We're under 2 minutes here. Now under 1:30. So in wrapping things up, congratulations to Coach Hayward and the staff. Denison clearly came out with a superior game plan and executed it literally to perfection tonight, both defensively and offensively. Players stepped up on offense. DuShawn Brown, Brandon Sklenar on defense. Pat Carney-Foley made a couple huge stops. Cameron Call doing his part from the middle of the line. Joel Lahua and Chandler Bridges. Some tight coverage, and the safeties, Emerson Thacker, Joe Weinbach, Lucas Romick, Andrew Baird, all making a difference. Some big hits, good coverage, really limiting what Barnes could do downfield. But game ball, of course, has to go to the record setter, DuShawn Brown, the man from Arizona. His final stat line is 13 catches, 272 yards, and 3 touchdowns, giving him the record for most receptions, breaking it by almost 40 yards. So congratulations again, DuShawn. Now Paracchio in for the short punt. That's why he comes in. His punt towards the side, towards the corner. Well done. Whistle down at about the 3. Well executed there by the Denison punt team, special teamers. Good snap by Bookout. Good punt by Paracchio. So today is the 20th battle of the Old Red Lantern. And Denison will take it home this year. Last year, Wooster won 43-21. Denison this year with the 38-17. Denison also took it home in 2012-2011 before Wooster kept it for a very, very long time. From 1995 until 2000 and, goodness gracious, till 2010. Some lean years for the Denison football team, put it that way. Lean years for the Denison football team. They were unable to retain the Red Lantern, but Denison and Coach Hayden and his staff has started to obviously recruit superior players, and the program has risen Now Denison assessed an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Coach Hayden a little bit frustrated by his players' lack of discipline. Number 56 on Denison is assessed an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Dwight Jesse from Knoxville, Tennessee. Now Wooster. The pass complete. Nice play that time. It is Marisak who got in this time, and he's able to find Darian Owens. And Wooster will take it. Well, the clock will stop for a first down. We'll see if Wooster takes a timeout. A little bit ridiculous at this point to do that, but 38-17, 36 seconds left. They'll set the clock, set the ball. Things will restart here for the Scots. Marisak takes the snap, drops. Pass complete for about 7 yards. A penalty flag again. Kind of a lack of discipline here from the Big Red. Complete to Nate Kleinman, the senior from Bronx, New York. And there's some laundry on the field. We'll wait to see the call. Big Red having some trouble really closing this game out in the way they want to. Two fouls. It's a personal foul. Face mask on the Big Red, and then an additional after the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on Wooster. So the play will result in a first down for Wooster. Denison doesn't have to concede another 15 yards because of Wooster's dead ball foul. So it ball's at the 39 now, 20 seconds left. Marisak drops, fires deep. Pass incomplete, and more penalty flags. This time it's a pass interference call on the Big Red. Nothing dirty about that, but that pass interference. And there goes the Gatorade cooler. The ice just poured on Coach Hayden after the Dennis. Congratulating him on Denison taking home the Old Red Lantern this year. A big win for this program and a big win for the seniors. You know, had revenge on their minds after last year's loss. So congratulations to Coach Hayden. He looks a little bit cold now for that ice bath, that ice shower, I should say. But I'm sure he feels pretty happy about tonight's result. Now that pass by Marisak complete. 6 seconds left. Timeout by Wooster. Timeout by Wooster with 6 seconds left. The ball will be on the 9-yard line. The Big Red defense coming in to huddle up, try to prevent one last play for the Scots. So Coach Colapreti not throwing in the towel quite yet. Continuing to fight, call timeout, stop the clock. Denison not helping themselves with the number of penalties they've had in the last couple of drives. Not sure about Coach Colapreti's strategy now. I think early in the game when he didn't decide to do onside kicks or go for it on fourth down would have been a little bit of a better move than to call timeout with 6 seconds left in this game. But either way, here we are. 6 seconds left for the Fighting Scots. Play in the end zone. Complete. 2 seconds left. Touchdown, Wooster. 2 seconds left. Touchdown, Wooster. So the Big Red will still win. There's no physical way, no possible way Wooster could come back from now, but it'll make the scoreline look a little bit better. So 38-24. If this field goal, this extra point is good. It is. With 2 seconds left.
The point after by Trevor Bowden is good.
Bowden's PAT up and through, so 2 seconds left now. Oh, one of the longest minutes of football I can remember in a long time when a team is down by 28 points, but Wooster still fighting. See what they decide to do here. Now Denison will have to send their kick return team out. And they'll move to 3-4 on the year with games at Oberlin. Their final home game senior night, so come back and listen and watch with us here on the Denison Sports Network if you can't make it out to Granville on November 8th. The Big Red are playing Allegheny at 1 p.m. and they'll finish the season away at Kenyon. Wooster will fall to 3-4 as well. Some Division I football. Ole Miss up on LSU on the road. Alabama beating Tennessee. And Ohio State still at half with Penn State. 17-0 lead. But check out that South Carolina-Auburn game if you get the SEC network. It's a 35-35. That's a doozy right there. Good stuff from the SEC always. People in the best recruits in the country every year, making that the best conference in the country every year. Some great football being played. Now Wooster will kick. Hopefully the last play of this game. Denison fields it. And they don't. Not enough heads. Not enough heads-up play on their part to wait till the clock runs out to kneel the ball. But so they kneel the ball and the clock stops with 1 second left. And the Denison offense will take the field. Obviously, Denison being on top and winning the scenario is not something that has been gone over a bunch so far this year. But hopefully, but congratulations to the boys. It's a great win for the squad. Everyone on campus, all the athletic staff, all the kids on campus, proud of this football team for battling back. And that's it. Pavlatos takes a knee. And Denison, it's official. It's finally official. The Zebras retreat to the locker rooms. This one's done. Denison 38, Wooster 24. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on the Denison Sports Network. It's been a pleasure. I'm Nick Caravana. For everyone here at the university, have a safe weekend and join us again on Senior Day against Allegheny in a few weeks. Denison 38, Wooster 24 on the Denison Sports Network.